Hey guys, it's Miss Cooper here. I have missed our wonderful class time together, and so I thought I would go ahead and make a video for the review for your data representations unit test this week, kind of like old times. So let's get started. All right, so the data representation is going over all the different types of graphs that we learned and a few that we didn't learn when we were together in school. So first of all, you need to know when different types of graphs are used. So this first type of graph is a bar graph, and the bar graph shows data in different categories. So you see how each one here is showing the number of students who chose red as their favorite color, orange, yellow, and so this is giving you the numeric value of students who chose that color, okay? And then that data could also be put in a circle graph, or has different data in it, but it's showing you comparisons to the whole. So we're comparing different pieces of it to the entire piece. And so one thing that it's important to know is that in a circle graph, that the entire circle represents 100%. Okay, so we already reviewed those together when we were in school. And then now we have, these are two different ones that let me skip to here and then we'll go back. So these are our dot plot, which in Edgenuity, they call it a line plot. But dot plots show the frequency data on a number line. So it shows you how many times people ate 0 candy bars, how many times they ate 3 candy bars. Well, 3 people ate 3 candy bars, okay? So a dot plot, also called a line plot, shows the frequency. And then a box plot shows measure variation. So that means that we don't know how many people exactly were at 65 or close to it, but we know that from this line to here, from here to here, we know that's a quarter of the data, so it's 25%. So it's just showing you variation with the data. Now, two types of graphs that we have not worked with this year in school, but are in Edgenuity, are a line graph. So a line graph is really good over time. So it shows you how something progresses. A lot of times they'll do it, I don't know, maybe population per year, and it'll go by year, it'll go by day, by month, by week, but a line graph is usually used for time. And then your stem and leaf plot, it's a frequency data on, I forgot to change this. Oopsies, sorry. So a stem and a leaf plot shows data that's grouped together. So like if I have a bunch of data in the 20s and 30s, this will show, and then the 6 and the 9 means 69, or the 6 and the 8 means 68. Okay, so those are the types of graphs that you need to know for your unit test. And here's some keywords. So first of all, the first keyword is range. So maximum minus your minimum, right? So your maximum is your big number minus your small number. Okay, the median is the middle. The mode is the one that happens most often. So the number with the most number of dots above it. And then the mean is the average. So that is a mean calculation. It takes a lot of work, but it's the number of, you add all the values up and divide it by the number of items. And so I will go over that. And then over here we have just kind of some keywords. So true, valid, and accurate. Those are all synonyms, meaning they mean the same. So true, valid, and accurate. And then we have false, invalid, and inaccurate. So those are not true. Okay, so those are things that are not true. And then some of your questions I saw in Edgenuity have the word inferences. So when you're making an inference, you're making a conclusion based on evidence and reasoning. It's basically an educated guess, to break it down. So when you're making an inference, you're finding the best response. So let's dig into it. So number 1 is a circle graph. So again, before we even start, we need to know that a circle graph adds up to equal 100%. Okay, so this question says 400 grocery store shoppers were surveyed to determine their favorite fruit. How many shoppers preferred bananas? So here we have 32 bananas, and it's in percent form. So percent means I need to set up a proportion. So when we did our percent proportion, we knew that our percent always goes over 100. And then we have our part, whatever that percent represents, over our total. Okay? So in this case, it tells us that 400 grocery shoppers were surveyed. So 400 shoppers, so that's the total number of shoppers. And so that's 400 people were surveyed. Our 100 always goes here under the percent. And we're looking for the numbers that prefer bananas. So bananas is my part. So 32% liked bananas. So that's a percent. So it's going to go over here on top. And I want to know how many shoppers. So I need to know the number of my part. Okay. So I like to see if I can get from one side to the other. So how do I get from 100 to 400? Well, that's just times 4. So I'm going to do 32 times 4 to get my answer here. So 32 times 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12. So 128 shoppers prefer bananas. All right, and don't forget, if you forgot this way of looking at it, it's okay to always do, okay, the number, you multiply the numbers in the diagonal without your variable, okay? And then you divide by the number with your variable. So I divide by 100, which means I'm going to move my decimal to the left 2 places. So I still would have gotten my 128. Okay, so that's our circle graph example 1. So the second situation, it says the school is putting on a concert. 8 students signed up to play the trumpet. 8 students signed up to play the flute, and 8 students signed up to play the violin. Which circle graph can represent the data? Okay, so we have 8 for the trumpet, 8 for the flute, and 8 for the violin. So we have 8 times 3 is 24 people. So how many equal segments do we have? Right? These are all equal pieces. So I have 1, 2, 3 equal pieces. So I'm looking for one that has 3 equal pieces. This has 3 pieces here, but they're not equal. So we're going to go with this one because they are equal pieces. By the way, that was a test question, so maybe some of you guys got it. I think it rotates the test questions, but okay. So this next question, it's about dot plots. So it says a survey of a number of 7th graders and a group of teachers at a middle school are asked how many siblings they each have. The results are shown in the box plots. So if you remember back to when we did this together in school, so I'm going to do students first, and we said R, me, mo. Okay, so students. So range, median, and mode. So range, median, and mode. R, me, mo. So range is the maximum number that it has a dot above it. So I'm not looking at 9 because there's no dot here. I'm looking at 4 minus the minimum. Minus 0 is 4. Median is the middle number. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's 20 dots. So half of 20 is 10. So 10 will be on each side of my middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the number directly below my middle is my median. 10 is not my median, it's 2 because that's the number below the midpoint. And then mode is the number that's most often. So here, the number with the most dots above it is 2 as well. And then we have, some of your questions have mean. So mean is your average. So you're going to add all your points up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So 1 times 4 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 2. They're all represented by 2. Those are all 2's. So 2 times 7 is 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are 3's. So I could do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And these are 4's. 4 plus 4 is 8. So now I'm going to add all these up. So let's see. 14 plus 4 is 18 plus 15 plus 8. 16 plus 5 is 21. 2, 3, 4. So 41. And then there were 20 dots. So 41 divided by 20. 2 times 20 is 40. 1, 0, 0. Now I have 100, so 5. So my mean is 2.05, okay? So that's a refresher on dot plots. And then we have box plots, okay? So box plots, the median is the middle of your box. You have your minimum, your maximum. This is quartile 1 here, the median quartile 3. What's important here is also to know that this is 25% of the data, and then from here to here is 25%, and then this other piece is 25%, and then this piece is 25%. So the box is 25 plus 25%, so that's 50%, okay? And the box is your interquartile range. So if you need to find your interquartile range, you'll subtract the right side minus the left side. So I want to go ahead and do an example with you of analyzing this. So it says the box plot shows the weights in pounds of the dogs of 2 different animal shelters. Okay, so let's start with shelter A. Oh gosh. Okay, so shelter A, we have range, we have median, there's no mode. So range is going to be your maximum, so 30 minus the minimum of 8. So 30 minus 8 is 22. The median is right here. It's the middle. So we're going to say that's 21. Okay. And then let's see. Let's do quartile 1. So that's the left side of the box is quartile 1, which is at 17. Quartile 3 is the right side of the box, which is here at 28. So if they asked you for the interquartile range, it would be 28 minus 17 is 11, okay? And again, if they said, okay, so which number, if they asked which one has only 50% greater than 18 pounds. Okay, so 18 pounds, it wants only 50% greater than that, okay? Well, this one has 25% plus 25% and almost 75%. This one has 25% plus 25%. So it would be shelter B if I was looking for one that had only half of the number of dogs above 18 pounds, okay? All right, so I hope that helps. Please log on to Zoom if you need extra help, and have a good week.